with a Tottenham update. And first up, we're going to talk about Luka Vuskovic once again, as Florian Plettenberg has been speaking on Luka Vuskovic, and he says a new loan move for Luka Vuskovic to Hamburg is currently not a topic, no talks, no negotiations. He did confirm that in a comment, which we'll get into in a minute. But he says, at the moment, there are two options: a long-term contract extension with a top salary at Tottenham, or a move to one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and talks are ongoing. So Luka Vuskovic did say in an interview that, so he confirmed that he's not going to play at Hamburg again. He says, playing with my brother at Hamburg would be a dream and a dream come true for me, but it's hardly possible. I don't know what else to say apart from impossible. And then he spoke about the potential chance to work with Roberto De Zerbi, and he says, I think he's a top-class coach. He likes attacking football. He likes build-up play. I really like that, and I hope we'll work together. I hope we'll work well together in the future. So that sounds positive.
Doesn't seem too certain, but yeah, I hope so. I bloody hope so.
SZY confirmed that the club that Florian Plettenberg was mentioning in terms of top club is Barcelona. And he also says that the people pulling the strings around Luka Vuskovic aren't great. So that doesn't sound good. He says talks are happening in the next 2 weeks. And this is just his opinion. He says, in my opinion, in regards to who he could be playing for next season, he thinks he will extend at Tottenham. But it will all be decided after the World Cup.
I think, first of all, just on his loan move to Hamburg and it being not possible, unfortunately, Vuskovic is the victim of his own success. If he was just a little bit worse, he might have got another year at Hamburg, but he's just been too good. So no, you just can't ignore him when he's been, player in the team of the season. I just saw a poll they were doing, what the Bundesliga players voted for, and I think he came third in Player of the Year. So he's really highly thought of in the Bundesliga as well.
Elise won it, didn't he?
I think Elise won second. It. Yeah, and then Vuskovic. So
I mean, to be up there with those players,
it's incredible, absolutely incredible, and especially as well playing for a team like Hamburg, who were near the bottom of the league for a lot of the season. So it just goes to show how amazingly he was standing out. So unfortunately for Luka, he was that good that we just can't ignore. Either he comes back to Tottenham and starts for us because we want him, or if from Tottenham's point of view, maybe he goes on loan to an even better team to really further his development. In terms of this protracted potential move from Barcelona, I think this is very smart agent play to try and get him the best deal possible. Yes, they just mentioned, we got this deal from Barca. If you don't give him what he wants, he won't accept, and then you can always go to Barcelona and get this deal. I'm not saying that the interest isn't real. I'm sure there is interest.
Does have 4 years left in his deal.
Exactly. So I don't see Barca putting up the money, and I don't see him starting for Barca right now. So
and they just spent 70-odd million off Anthony Gordon.
Well, apparently they're spending another 100 million on Alvarez as well. I don't know. They've probably got money at the moment.
I don't think that's going to happen, judging by the Atletico Madrid social media
I wouldn't rule out. But I think it is a bit of posturing from the agent. Try and get him the best deal. I do think he'll sign another deal because I don't think he goes another year without quadrupling his salary or whatever his salary is on right now. So
I wonder what it is right now.
He definitely deserves a bigger wage. I think it's reward for what has been an incredible rise to prominence for him. So he's obviously going to get a much bigger salary.
He's on 11 grand a month, euros.
A month or a week?
A week, sorry.
So he's going to be pushing for upwards of 60, 70, I think. I think the agent...
It's mad that you get that contract before you even play a game for Tottenham.
I know, but I think the agent's going to be looking at Gray. He's going to be looking at Bergvall. Especially Gray. Gray's on like 75, isn't he? So he's going to be looking at thinking, he's probably going to be looking at thinking, look, if you want Vuskovic starting for you, he should be on nearly 100. That's what he's going to be saying. And that's why you're hearing about this interest to Barca. I don't think Tottenham are going to allow it to happen. I don't think he's really going to push for it. I think he'll end up signing, but I think this is the agent's way of just trying to get him the best salary possible.
Yeah, I do kind of feel like now we have stayed in the Premier League. I think it would have been different if we would have gone down. But now we are in the Premier League. I think Spurs are just going to reject everything out of hand for Luka Vuskovic, and I think that's the right way to go. You've got him down on a long contract. You're looking to give him monstrous wages of a player at that age that have never played for Tottenham. We'll give him everything he wants. So yeah, I do think Vuskovic is going to end up signing this contract. Vuskovic also said in that same interview that there are plenty of options and all options are good options. So maybe he's playing the game as well, but we'll see.
They all are. And maybe Tottenham do loan him out. Maybe Tottenham do loan him out to a much better team potentially, but I don't see them selling him to Barca unless Barca come in with a ridiculous bid, which I don't think they will. So I don't think that happens. Personally.
Be interesting. Like if he was to sign for Barcelona, does he go straight in and start for them?
I mean, I'll be shocked if he did. Who are their centre backs now?
Because that Kubarasi was starting for them at 18 years of age at centre back.
It's true. He was very good. But that's also another reason why I don't see them spending big money on a 19-year-old, because they shit out their own teenagers for fun. So I like they're much more likely to give a La Masia player a chance than they are to sign a teenager, and the team's full of them. So if they're going, usually when they shell out big money, it's for
stars,
a big star player. So I don't see them shelling out big money for a 19-year-old.
Although they shelled out, I can't believe they shelled out 70 million for Anthony Gordon.
Yeah, that surprised me. Did surprise me, to be honest, and especially with the year he had, and especially they got Rafinha, Yamal at the moment. We'll see how much he actually plays, but yeah, it's an interesting transfer that.
All right, let's move on and let's talk about Joao Palhinha. Source Ebola once again. You know, he seems to be, or they seem to be, really pushing this Palhinha to Sporting narrative. Now saying that Tottenham have pulled out the race to sign Joao Palhinha. Spurs' buy option expires tomorrow, which is today, and Sporting are moving ahead with the deal.
It's interesting if the buy option does run out today.
Yeah, I mean, we did hear last season that Spurs are not going to take up that buy option anyway, and they're going to try and negotiate a fee down with Bayern Munich. But yeah, I mean, Ebola seems to be the only one pushing this Sporting narrative about Joao Palhinha, but I don't know. He seems to be pretty convinced.
Yeah, but they're not the most reliable, are they?
No, not at all.
Ebola. But they are a Portuguese source. They are a Portuguese outlet, so maybe they've got some sort of inside information nobody else has. I still tend to believe it's not true at this moment in time. Although, as we said, he hasn't been picked for the World Cup, so he can kind of decide his future pretty straight away if he wants to. He doesn't have to wait for any other moving parts. I wouldn't be surprised if he's tempted to go back to Sporting in general, but I don't think he's going to decide right now that he's willing to take a wage cut to go back. Surely he's going to wait for Tottenham to decide, unless Tottenham, as Ebola said, have pulled out and they're saying, actually, we're not going to do it. Unless the fact that we're letting the buy option run out is that giving Palhinha a bit of confusion and frustration, the fact that they're not willing to spend the 25 million on him, given the fact that he was a big part of us staying up. So maybe that's part of it, but I think Tottenham are always going to renegotiate that fee, especially when he's 30 years of age, and we know we could probably get that down to. But I don't know how much can we get it down to. We know Bayern are pretty desperate to sell, to be fair. So I think they probably accept somewhere between 15 and 20. Like I think we probably don't have to go to 25.
It's a great price for him.
But is there someone out there willing to pay 25 potentially?
Maybe.
That's a question.
But it's all about like where Joao wants to play as well. You know, there are three parts to this. There's what the club's willing to play, what the club is willing to accept, and where he wants to play. And they all got to align, don't they? And I think it's clear from what he said he wants to come back to Tottenham. It's clear that we want him because Roberto De Zerbi wants him, and Bayern obviously will be willing to sell to us. So the three parts are all there for the Tottenham transfer. I'm not sure if they're there for any other one just yet.
Well, at the moment, it seems to be Tottenham at the moment holding out, because we could have had this done today if we wanted for 25. Yeah. We're not doing it. So obviously we're trying to renegotiate it down, but I wonder if there does come a sticking point where Tottenham feel like maybe it's not worth it, maybe we go another direction. For me personally, I've made my stance clear. I'm not crazy over signing him permanently. I don't think it has to happen. I think it would be a good signing, and I think he has his uses. But for me, if we were to pass on the opportunity and go for in a different direction with a bit, give us more flexibility to improve that midfield area, I'm not against that either, to be honest.
It's actually true. There's a comment here from Wibbers. I've actually seen this narrative on social media. I don't know how true it is, but there was this narrative saying Palhinha is going through a divorce right now and his kids are going to be living in Portugal. And there's something saying he wants to go live closer to his kids and see his kids more regularly.
I mean, if that's true, then there's nothing we can do, is there?
Yeah.
And that's it. So like personal lives obviously make a big difference, isn't it? And that can be something that's uncontrollable.
Yeah, exactly. So if that is the case, then he will go back to Sporting, and that would be a very good option for him.
And I mean, if it is the case, then that Oberholm report makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, exactly. So look, we'll have to see how it plays out. I'm sure in the coming days, coming weeks, we'll hear a lot more about it. But that is the rumours right now about Joao Palhinha. Alfie Devine up next. Alistair Gold said Preston have reportedly triggered the option to buy for Alfie Devine for a deal worth £6 million. That means Preston will now be able to hold talks with Devine, but do face plenty of competition for his services, with Celtic showing an interest, as well as a number of clubs at the top end of the Championship with Premier League ambitions, including relegated Wolves. So, yeah, clubs lining up for Alfie Devine right now. I wouldn't be surprised if Alfie just rejects Preston and looks at these different options, and that'll be better for Spurs as well because we'll be able to get a higher fee.
Exactly what I was thinking. But by the way, 6 million, a bit higher than the reported release clause, wasn't it? They said 4.5.
4.5, yeah.
So 6 million, a bit closer to what I'd expect for someone like Devine in the season he's had. But I think Devine, if I'm Devine, I would reject Preston because you've got a lot of better clubs with more ambitious clubs as well. Wolves probably thinking about, João Gomez is about to leave. They're thinking about promotion next season. Rob Edwards had a fairly decent spell last year as well, so that's a manager who could maybe get him playing Celtic, obviously a massive club in Scotland looking to win the league. So it's a different kind of pressure, and the level might not be that much higher, but it's like you're playing European football, Champions League football, and obviously a chance to win trophies. So it gets you more in the spotlight playing somewhere like Celtic. So that's a really good opportunity as well.
I wouldn't be against not selling him at all and just loaning him out to Celtic for the year and just see how he does one last time.
I wouldn't be against it as well, but I do think we're going to sell. I think that's going to be where it's at. I think it's going to be an opportunity for Tottenham to get a bit of money through the door. And in a window, we probably need that little bit of money as well to really improve the squad where there could be a lot of turnover. I know we're expected to sell quite a few first-teamers, but anything else, I think Devine probably comes in as... How much did we sign him for? Like 3 million? I can't remember. It was like, we signed him... It was 500,000.
It was less than 3 million for sure, because we signed him at 15 years of age.
From Wigan, but I remember it was a fee. It was like
1 million or something.
Something like that. So it's going to be quite a bit of profit on the balance sheet if we start selling for, over 6 million, if we can get that. So I think he has had a great spell at Preston. And part of me will always wonder what it would be like if he did get an opportunity at Tottenham. But I just don't think it's ever going to happen right now. We're not if we didn't have Graham Bergvall at the club playing, I would say, yeah, bring him back, give him an opportunity. But we just do, and unfortunately right now there's not really space for another player who's young and up and coming.
What I would do is I would accept a lower fee, but make sure to have a buyback or a sell-on percentage on there. That's what I would do. Because if you sell him for 1 or 2 million less, it's not going to affect Tottenham too much. But the potential upsides could be massive for Alfie Devine. So I think I would do that. Next up, we are going to talk about Hayden Hackney. It's a name that always seems to be linked with Spurs every summer. But now, Scott Wilson of the Echo is saying that Tottenham are now expected to make a formal offer for Hayden Hackney this summer. The midfielder looks certain to leave Middlesbrough this summer, with Crystal Palace also expected to make an offer, and Manchester United set to join the battle as well. So Hayden Hackney just got Player of the Year in the Championship. Stunning season for him at Middlesbrough, which, I mean, he's had, his last 2 or 3 years have been really top quality from him.
Why didn't he start the playoff final? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe
he's their captain as well.
Maybe he was injured or something.
I don't know what happened. But he's a player that can play the 6, the 8. He's even played 10 a couple of times this season. So what's interesting, though, is obviously he played under Michael Carrick, and Michael Carrick's now the manager of Man United. So I wonder what the relationship between them two are. So that's the opportunity. Obviously, if Adam Wharton or someone like that leaves Crystal Palace, I think Crystal Palace have shown that they can take these players from the Championship and make them into top players. Spurs, whenever we kind of take these players, it doesn't really work out too well. So who do you think he would favour over these 3 clubs?
I think...
Is there a spot for him at Manchester United? Because Man United talking about bringing Edison. Mainu's back now playing. So is there even a spot for him at...
If I was Hackney, I would, as much as the glitz and the glamour Man United is tempting. Look at the example of Dewsbury Hall, who went to follow Maresca to Chelsea, and he thought, I've got a manager there who trusts me, who knows me. He's going to play me, and it never really happened. Even though he was one of his favourites at Leicester, when he went to Chelsea, big expectation, all this kind of stuff. He always chose the more expensive players. He always
doesn't mean it'll happen with everyone.
I'm not saying, but you got to look at that and think you got to be careful with the next club you pick, because Man United. If they bring him in, as you say, they got Edison, they got mainly, obviously Bruno's obviously going to play every game. So if they bring anyone else in, you've got to be careful about how limited your time's going to be.
You've got Europe as well.
They do have Europe, and obviously Hackney has a relationship with Carrick, so maybe he can convince him. For us, we have to obviously look at the examples of Wharton and Alex Scott, which we were in for, and we didn't really push the bar out because we thought, are they actually worth these prices? I think Wharton ended up being 20 million at the time, and Alex Scott was, can't remember how much it was, about 15 million, wasn't he, from Bristol City to Bournemouth. And we were linked with them. I think we were only willing to pay a lot less than that. We were like looking at them like Graham Bergvall kind of players, whereas Palace looked to Wharton like, you're going to come and play straight away and you're going to be the hub of our midfield. And Alex Scott obviously had to earn his way into the team at Bournemouth, but now he's like been in the England squad and he's been brilliant. So do we want to miss out on another one of those players? Hackney is a bit older than those players though when they joined their respective clubs. Is he good enough for us? It's hard to say. It's really hard to say, but I would be very tempted to bring him in.
I've been liking him, watching him play. I mean, I haven't seen him every week or anything like that, but whenever I watch him play, I'm really impressed. I remember seeing him, was it last season or even the season before against Chelsea? Yeah, I thought he was brilliant in that game. So it's interesting though, like what position we're bringing him in for. Is it going to be for the 8? Is it going to be for the 6? I don't know.
And also Hackney, he's 23 now. You're not bringing in a 19, 20-year-old.
No, you're bringing him in to play now.
You're bringing him to start. So if you're looking for we want a midfielder like the profile of Hackney with a bit of technical ability, who can come in and start. So if you're getting Hackney in now, we're saying he's good enough to be our first choice, kind of technical midfielder, which we're very much lacking. Is he? I don't know. I don't know for sure. When you're playing in the Championship, it's hard to know. Obviously, it did work with Wharton and Alex Scott, but I'm sure there's some players it didn't work with. But there's been a lot of talk about him for many, many years now. So he probably does deserve a Premier League move. Maybe it's time we give him a shot, but I don't really know if he's the answer.
I would love to give him a shot, but I think the attributes that he has got and he has shown in the Premier League is attributes that Spurs need in their team right now. That's the thing. Like, he's great on the ball. He's got a lot of bite to him as well. Like, I feel like he's a bit similar off the ball to like a Conor Gallagher. I think he presses really well and he tackles a lot and he's a very aggressive player. But he's got more on the ball than a Conor Gallagher.
But that's all true. But he's been doing the only thing he's been doing the Championship.
Yeah.
So there's obviously always going to be that question mark until he makes a step up. And if he does make the step up and we're not the team he goes to, let's say he goes to a Palace and smashes it, all of a sudden that price, whatever price is going to be paid for him, is going to triple or quadruple overnight. So, we could be missing out on, like, Wharton's going to cost someone 80 million if they want him.
Yeah.
But maybe Palace think, get him in, and then if Wharton leaves, you've got a natural successor right there. They could think that.
Yeah, but when I was talking about Dougie Freeman, these are the kind of signings I was talking about that Dougie Freeman would make. I think he would be. I think a lot of fans would be like, oh, bloody, we're signing someone from the Championship, and I think he can surprise a few people by coming here. So I'll be up for it. I really would be. But like I said, I don't know what his best position is. Is it a 6 or is it an 8? If it's an 8, then is there much point bringing him in? If it's a 6, then yes, bring him in. Do you know?
Yeah.
Like, what is his favourite?
I've heard it's an 8, but I don't really know for sure.
Yeah. Because I know I was looking at this season's stats where he's played. He's played the most games in the 6 this season. Second most in the 8. Not much between it, and then a couple of games sprinkled in there in the 10. So he is a very versatile player as well, but we've got those players in our midfield as well.
That's the thing. It's hard to know. It's hard when I don't watch the Championship every week, so it's hard to know if this guy. I mean, obviously, he didn't get Player of the Year, but it doesn't necessarily mean it could. It definitely means he's probably a Premier League player, but is he a Tottenham player? You know, we want to be in the top 6. Is he good enough for that? That's obviously the question you got to ask yourself.
I wonder if right now, he's ahead of Gray and Bergvall.
And then he's 4 years older.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about in terms of his development and if he can play in the Premier League and stuff, because he's never played in the Premier League. Gray and Bergvall have.
Yeah, but he's 4 years older. He's going to be he's got so much more experience just playing, and he's played in the cup competition. Even in the Championship. If Gray and Bergvall had played 4 years in the Championship, they would be much more ahead of where they are right now, rather than the little bits they've played in the Premier League. So I think the game time, of course he's going to be ahead of them right now.
All right, well, that's Hayden Hackney. Let me know in the comment section below, would you like to see Hayden Hackney at Tottenham? Apparently Spurs are expected to make their move. Now we're going to talk about everyone's favourite, Rafael Leao. So Rafael Leao, Romano came out the other day and saying he has confirmed that he wants to leave AC Milan this summer. The Mirror are reporting that Tottenham have reportedly inquired about the availability of Rafael Leao. Leao has already said he's leaving AC Milan this summer, with interest coming from the Premier League, Bundesliga and Turkish clubs. Romano, though, says that so far only Turkish clubs have approached Leao over a possible move. The latest report this morning is from Calcio Mercato, who say that Rafael Leao now is expected to leave AC Milan this summer after making it clear he wants a new challenge away from Serie A. Milan are now preparing to listen to offers in the region of 50 to 60 million, despite the winger's 175 million release clause, with several Premier League clubs keen to sign him. Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United, Newcastle and Tottenham have all been linked, but no concrete bids has arrived as of yet. I remember speaking about him last summer, or maybe it was even in January, and we were saying, like, this guy's a big name, but actually, has he done it to what matches his name? I'm not sure he has. And this one could be one of these high-profile flops, and I still believe that.
I mean, if you're talking about goal contributions, he definitely gets them. Like, I think this season it was 18, last season 19, I think season before that 25 in Serie A as well. So season before that 22. So the guy does get goal contributions.
I mean, he's got 12 goal contributions in Serie A this season.
Sorry, this season 12, last season 18. Yeah, so this season definitely been a bit of a dip. The thing is with Leao, I think the big question mark, I don't think anyone questions his ability. He has world-class ability, and I think he's shown that enough times for AC Milan over the years. His ability to cut inside and shoot, and his dribbling ability, second to none. I think the real question is, does he need to be at a team where he's like the hub? He needs to be the team where people are doing the hard yards for him, or is he going to be? Can he be part of like a cohesive unit where everyone's working for each other, everyone's pressing, and he's like part of that?
Would he press though?
That's the question.
Does he press?
That's the question. Is he a bit of a prima donna, and is he the one who okay, if you get, like, let's say, put a Joao Palhinha behind him and you say you do the running for him and track back for him, and if you just get the ball to Leao, he'll get you X amount of goals. Is he that kind of player where you need to kind of just restructure the team to support him, or can he be part of that whole defense? Is he a liability off the ball, essentially? I think those are been a lot of complaints people have had about him, and he's obviously not had the best season this season for AC Milan. But there is no getting away about that ability. There isn't. He has supreme ability, and he's shown that quite consistently, his ability, over many years. I know the season hasn't gone too well, but obviously he's looking to leave now. So it's a real tough one. Obviously, I think the name carries a lot of weight, and it's all about whether if De Zerbi looks at him, sits down with him, and makes that decision. I don't think De Zerbi wants to be carrying anyone, put it that way. I don't think De Zerbi will want anyone who's not going to do his work off the ball that he needs to do. If he goes to a smaller team, maybe he can go there and be that player where you can base the team around him, and maybe that's what he needs. But at Tottenham, I don't think that's not what De Zerbi wants right now. He wants everyone working very hard for each other, and he's trying to create a team unit right now. So I don't know if Rafael Leao is the kind of right character, but he's the right ability. That's the truth. And if we really wanted that, if you're looking for that true world-class ability in the final third, someone who will get you those goals, that you're confident can get you those goal contributions, I think Leao, I mean, you're not going to get much better than him.
Yeah, look, Yeah, it's true, but like, I don't want these guys. You know, we've had it before where these guys come in and they're a bit too big for their boots. Like, they don't really want to be it. Does he really want to play for Tottenham? Will his heart be in it? I don't know. Like, if he's not going to press, if he's got history of, you know, a lacking of work rate, then I don't want him here, to be honest, no matter how much quality he has, because it's not going to end well. If that's not the case, then yeah, I'd love to see him in. I think, you know, if you sign a player like Rafael Leao, that is straight away major shirt sales, excitement within the fan base, and all of a sudden you're looking forward to next year and like being wow. But like, how many times have we brought in like just these big signings, these big money signings, and they just never work out? And I feel like this guy could be another one of those. But you're looking at other teams around the Premier League. Like, if he is that good, Liverpool need a left winger, Arsenal both need a left winger, and in terms of the quality that he has, he starts for both of them on the left wing right now. So if we go in for him, they could easily gazump us. And
if he's that good, you know, if they don't go in for him, you have to question why they're not. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth when it comes to him. So I don't see us getting him. I don't think it's probably not the right thing, but as well, you never know. You never know in football. If we sell him, he could be the star here. He's going to be starting playing every game. De Zerbi's way of football. Maybe De Zerbi has a conversation, is convinced I can get his mind right, and maybe it's worth doing. But I feel it is very unlikely.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that one in the future. And last but not least, there's been an update. A terrible source, Ekram Konar, saying that Tottenham hold an interest in Matt O'Reilly. O'Reilly was on loan at Marseille last season for the first half and then returned in January, but he only played 6 games in the Premier League. I mean,
played under De Zerbi then?
Played under De Zerbi at Marseille. I don't think he played under De Zerbi at Brighton.
I think he was gone by then.
Yeah, so, I mean, when Matt O'Reilly came to the Premier League from Celtic, you know, he came with a big kind of reputation about him. Everyone thought he was going to do well. I think you picked him that year as your, like, surprise package of the season.
Wasn't him. It was
wasn't him.
But
it was no, the year before that. I mean, was it not him?
No, it wasn't him.
That wasn't him.
It might have been him actually. Yeah, it might have been him. He scored lots of goals actually in the Scottish League. I think he scored like nearly 30 goals or something. And the thing is, he picked up a big injury.
Yeah.
When he first came, that's obviously affected him. For me, I don't think we need him. He's kind of like a Conor Gallagher kind of player. I don't think we need someone like Matt O'Reilly right now. It doesn't make sense to me. He's kind of like a number. He's like an 8/10 kind of player. Late runs in the box, not especially creative, but a bit of a goal scorer. I don't think we need that kind of player right now. We need someone with real creative ability.
Yeah, it hasn't really gone well from at Brighton, has it?
No.
That's the reality.
Got injured, came back, went to Marseille, then came back to Brighton, and hasn't really pulled up any trees. I don't think he's a bad player.
Season at Celtic before he left, he got 18 goals and 13 assists.
Yeah.
It's just like monstrous.
Yeah, crazy goal contributions. And who knows, if he didn't get injured, who knows what would have happened. But
Still played 21 games that season, so he played a significant part of the season. 2 goals, 2 assists. And then 15 games at Marseille, 1 goal, 2 assists. I mean, there's a good player there, but yeah, I just don't think
he's the player we need. It's not even about the quality, it's like the kind of player. I don't think he's what we need at all.
All right, well, that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we have brought you today.